G'day, it's my 7th day here in Jeddah and it's time for me to head back to Australia. A rare treat. It's about a 20-minute drive to the airport, 2.5 hour flight to Dubai, about 11 hours on the ground there, 15 hours to Melbourne, nearly a day on the ground there, and then back to Perth.
Turn right.
I tell you have to have your wits about you when you drive on the roads in Jeddah. They don't stick to their lanes, they drive very quick, and to add a bit of spice to the whole journey, there are these speed humps. Now I have two separate tickets and they have to be married up because I've got quite a lengthy layover in Dubai. I love this blue lighting on the roof behind me. It's a very calm atmosphere in here. This was only built 3 years ago and it's still in very good condition. Delight to be here. I booked business class for the first section, first class for the second, and the tickets are married up now and I'm going all the way through. Don't have to collect my luggage in Dubai, but the check-in agent didn't even ask to see my vaccination certificate. I imagine I have to show it when I get to Australia, but I would have thought they would have checked it here, given they've checked my luggage all the way through to Australia. That's security done. They went through every single piece of my equipment, swabbed it all, and now there's a short train ride out to the gates.
1, 2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed.
That's terrible. Frustration is starting to creep in amongst the people waiting to board this Emirates flight. We've been standing here for every bit of 45 minutes. Hello.
Hello. Have a nice flight.
Thank you.
You're always welcome.
I don't often travel this cabin, but it's lovely. Got a little selection of drinks here, a screen to operate this screen, telephone remote control, fold out table, an area to put all this, and a couple of big storage lockers along the side here, and it turns into a lie flat bed. And this flight is chock-a-block full, mostly with F1 people, I think. Right, you're probably wondering what's on the lunch menu, so let me explain it to you. Arabic dips, braised veal cheeks, chicken biryani, fish tartar. In the dessert we've got pistachio something with custard, seasonal fruit, a cheese board and some luxury chocolates. I'm thinking what champagne have we got on this flight, but you don't get any because we're coming out of Saudi and it's dry here. There are quite a number of F1 people, both people who work in F1 and also people who come to the race on this flight. While we've got a couple of minutes, let me tell you about my fall yesterday. I was probably between turn 3 and 4, I think it was, and I was walking along and I had a camera over each shoulder and I was carrying my large lens on a monopod, so I had one hand free, and I was walking and then I tripped. And I remember going down thinking, this is taking a long time and this is going to hurt, and I put out my hand, but I must have put out the back of my hand here, and I cleaned up my knee and my elbow, and my main concern was what damage to my cameras. And they were strewn all over the place, but no damage whatsoever. They all still worked fine. There was a minor scratch on the lens hood of my new 70-200, but no marks on the camera. So I think I really dodged a bullet there. And thank you to those people who sent me notes saying what happened and hope you get better. It was fine. And I actually went into the paddock to start shooting drivers being interviewed. I did about an hour of that, and then someone said, "You got blood everywhere," and I said, "Yeah," and I said, "Well, come on, we'll take you to the medical centre." So we went to the medical centre. That's the same one that Mick Schumacher went to, and they were lovely. Asked a whole lot of questions and rinsed out my wounds, fixed them all up, bandaged them, and set me free. So thank you, or shukran, to the people that helped me out in the medical centre. This is the bathroom down the back of the plane here. It's bigger than normal. It's nicely outfitted, as you can see. There's fragrances for men and women here. Tissues, paper towels, sink, of course the toilet, with a view. Now I've got some business to attend to, so I'm going to turn this off. So instead of us drinking champagne and having it displayed up here, instead we have a sparkling apple and pomegranate drink, some other drink, and then some non-alcoholic beers and lemonades. There are two different designs down the back here. This one is the older of the two, and it doesn't have the table on the other side that the newer design has, but it's still comfortable, and it's a great place to sit and talk to people out of your seat. and it's available to first and business class passengers. And if you're travelling first class on a flight that has alcohol, they'll bring the first class champagne down the back here for you and just hide it underneath the bar and only offer it to you or your first class friends. Down the back they have a selection of treats, and this is a cheesecake. It's a small serve, but it's very tasty. I'd recommend this one. Well, my friends, this is lunch. It's braised veal cheeks, fruit salad, some typical Middle Eastern dips, and a couple of like pita breads with a glass of water. This is non-alcoholic sparkling apple something. Nothing special. Very sugary, so I'm probably not going to drink any more of that. It was an excellent meal. Ate most of it. Wouldn't eat this one. It's got a smoky flavour to it. Doesn't appeal to me. But the other one was okay. Let me tell you about these scammers at Avis at Jeddah Airport. Last year I booked for 7 days. I took it back on the 7th day and they charged me for 12. They would not take my calls. They wouldn't answer email. I had to fly back here for this race to go and confront them. When I went to the counter to collect this car from this trip, I told them that I wanted the money back. They said, yes, we'll organise a refund. Still waiting 1 week on. Today, I take the car back and they present me with an invoice for 1,300 reals. So I go back to my original booking, which is $254 US for the week, and say, what's that in reals? He does some calculations, then he takes away the original invoice and he gives me one for 900 and something. Had I not have noticed, I would have paid the extra 400. My advice to you, don't rent a car from Avis in Jeddah if you can avoid it. And if you do, watch everything that they do. I was here 19 days ago and I'm back again, and I love this place. It's a great place to spend 11 hours. Hello to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Both sides open now?
Currently it left east
Sure.
side, sir.
It's 10:47 p.m. We landed at 4 p.m. My flight goes at 3 a.m. I've just edited my latest video. Yes, I have had a bit to eat. I had a hamburger, some lovely sushi. Once again, I've had this whole lounge to myself except for one gentleman who stayed for about half an hour. I've got to tell you, it's one of the greatest places to work. And this combined area is the size of 2 tennis courts. It's 1:30 a.m. We board at 2:15 for a 15-hour flight to Melbourne, or as the Americans would call it, Melbourne.
Thank you so much. Have a nice flight.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice
I've
day.
got it. Thank you.
Oh, you're a blogger.
So getting into Australia, they didn't ask for my PCR. I have to fill in some online thing, which allows me to obviously enter Australia. And here we go, here's another security check down the bottom here. This is akin to going to America. Here's the plan. Going to finish this glass of water. I've had half a sleeping tablet, which will just take the edge off. Hopefully get 7 hours sleep, wake up and have a bit more food, can then arrive into Melbourne ready to go to bed. Last year I visited 25 countries, this year probably about the same. Never had to get one visa, and this year I shouldn't have to pay for a visa either. However, if you're non-Australian and you're coming to the Australian Grand Prix, you do have to get a visa. It's about 315 Aussie dollars, that's 200 euros, 230 odd US dollars. And on top of that, you need to get a paid PCR. So if you're coming from England, that's another couple of hundred Aussie dollars. It's an expensive start to your trip. Can I please have the prawn cocktail, the caviar and the tenderloin? The caviar was excellent. The prawns, just as good. And the tenderloin, wouldn't order that again. Very dry beef and potatoes not that good. Well, we just touched down in Melbourne, and this is dramatically different to the last time I arrived back in Australia, where I was taken away in a bus with security and locked up in a hotel for 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of rigmarole we have to go through here, arriving into Melbourne with the paperwork. Well, that was way too easy. Simply got my ticket from the machine, put it into another machine. I posed for my photo, the gates opened, and I'm now going to get my luggage. Didn't have to speak to a human. And then I made the short trip across the road to the Park Royal for a night's sleep. Bit of a bonus, they let you take the trolley up to your room, stay in your room and then drag it out there tomorrow to go back to the airport. Where's 843? Ooh, the carpet's a bit worn. Comfortable, overlooks the airport out here. Yeah, I've stayed here before. This will be fine. After a good night's sleep here, it's off to the city now, and I might even go out to the track and do a little bit of reconnaissance to see how their track work's going and how it's shaping up for the Melbourne GP. One of the beauties of Melbourne being a street circuit is that after 3:30 p.m. and before 9 a.m. you can actually drive the whole circuit. I'll take you into the men's toilets here because this is quite interesting. Really nice tiles, and then when you come out of the men's there and you come over here, look, the women are on the other side. I initially thought that that was a mirror, but it's not a mirror. That's the ladies washing their hands over that side. What a great place. The Prince of Wales Hotel in St Kilda. Check-in for Perth was very simple, nothing required, and now it's off through security and on to Perth. And then I thought I'd go up to the Qantas Lounge.
We can't use this. It's a paper.
Where is that one from?
Bahrain.
You need the digital certificate. What did you get into Australia with?
This?
That?
Yes.
Can you show it to me?
Sure. After some chatting, the lounge wouldn't accept what the Australian government accepted, but luckily I had my EUDCC digital certificate and showed them that. Things still haven't returned to normal here. As you can see, there's still a lot of shops closed in Melbourne Airport. Not running at full capacity by any means.
Lovely, you're going up this way for it.
This is my third and final flight to get back to Perth. This is on a Qantas A330. Really nice business class, quite wide seats. Good leg room down the bottom here. It's in a 1-2-1 configuration, and the flight's probably around 3.5, 4 hours. That was a pretty good meal, healthy too. Chicken with some quinoa. Probably didn't need the ice cream, but one of the pluses of this flight is that there was free Wi-Fi. And I think that's a real bonus because on the last flight with Emirates it was something like 35 Aussie dollars. I was pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to get back into Australia. I wonder whether it'd be just as easy getting into Western Australia. People have to queue up and scan their codes with the police looking at them to make sure that they don't dodgy up the system. And those people who weren't fully vaccinated had to jump an extra hurdle. I get a free rat test, do I?
That's it, mate.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, and I have a welcoming party. Hello, Jaxie.
Hello.
Great to see you.
My shoes.
Now, Jace is already doing my social media, but he'll be shooting with me in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. His services will be greatly appreciated because I have a lot of work to do at that race. Home at last. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and become a member for some great extras along with some meet and greets just for YouTube members this year. You'll find all of my digital images at prostarpics.com for editorial and personal use, for F1 driver photo books, race books, wall art, merchandise, kimillman.com, and for my best images live from the track. And all during the week, head to Instagram and search @KimIllman. Thanks for watching and stay passionate. Where's 843?